Yep. that was on purpose. Yes. 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 Call. Hello. What's going on? Oh. Hello back there. Hey, is this Forrest? Hey, I got it right. How about that? Welcome back. Thanks for doing this. Sweet. Back on the radio. Are you flying solo tonight here? Awesome. Okay. Okay. And it's a Khmer, right? summer? Well, that's because it is. Bell's hosting the Portland Pickles here for a 3-game weekend series, and fans trickling into the ballpark here at the Hagen Diamond at Joe Martin Field. Hi again, everybody. My name is Ryan Carlson. Delighted to be back on the radio with you for this 3-game weekend series after the Bells coming home from Port Angeles, a 3-game midweek series with the lefties. And the Bells victorious in 2 games out of 3, winning their first series of the 2021 season. Before that, the Bells were over in Wenatchee for a 3-game series and lost 2 out of 3 in the Central Washington Valley, getting the win on the 3rd game, avoiding the sweep, 12 runs to 3, and the Bells are excited to be back home for the first time since they hosted the Yakima Valley Pippins and lost that series 2 games to 1. So the Bells have a series under their belt, but are still looking for their first home series victory, and they will try to get that done this weekend against the Portland Pickles. And this is the first West Coast League South Division the Bells have faced all season long. Back from a 6-game road trip, Bells will try to get it done against the Pickles, and we will take a look at the standings in the North and South divisions and get you the starting pitchers. When we come back, Bells Baseball is back on 98.9 K-Bay and online at 989kbay.com. Cancer, joints, and more. East Health winning team is on deck to serve you and yours. Go Bells. 2 minutes, yes, please. Oh, yes, I can. A little bit earlier in the day, and the Portland Pickles down to our left with a team name like Pickles. You'd think they'd be wearing green or something. Right now they are in dark navy blue tops with gray bottoms and long knee-high navy blue socks. And the Bells, on the other hand, in sleeveless white uniforms tonight. They're sleeveless that they've worn a couple times here at home. It reads Bells across the chest plate, and a white top, white bottoms, and a navy blue t-shirt underneath the sleeveless jerseys. And so let's get to the pitching matchup for tonight's game. A new face for the Bells. Brody Jesse, right-handed pitcher from the University of Gonzaga, or Gonzaga University, that is, and he is on the mound for the Bells for the first time this summer. A tall right-hander, 6'4", 217. He's from Anchorage, Alaska, and he is a sophomore at Gonzaga this fall, and a little bit more about him later. On the other side of things, starting for the Portland Pickles, number 49, Bradley McVeigh. I'm sorry. Got to get that right here. He is a lefty starting on the mound for Portland. Stands at 6'3", 205. He is a junior at the University of Portland, where the Bell's Ty Saunders also plays baseball. And he is getting the start. He has posted a .465 ERA in the spring with the University of Portland and getting things started for the Pickles tonight. So what does McVeigh offer? He is a two-seam, four-seam fastball kind of guy. His most dangerous pitch, the one he likes to sit the batters down with, is a four-seam fastball. And so the Bells will be trying to get a feel for that early on tonight. He also uses a curve and a change and has been working on that. He has worked extensively with Kevin Gunderson, the closer of Oregon State's 2006 College World Series championship team. And again, that's Bradley McVeigh, getting the start for the Portland Pickles. And I just want to make sure I get that right because my notes have a couple of different spellings for McVeigh, and it is Bradley, so I have to change one set of notes there. So Bradley McVeigh starting on the mound for the Pickles, and Brody Jesse for the Bells. He was ranked the #1 right-hander in the state of Alaska by Perfect Game in the state of Alaska, again in the year, though, of 2019. And in the spring for Gonzaga, he was more molded into a closer-type role, and that's where he stood for most of the spring with 17 appearances and getting the start today for the Bells. He is a changeup, fastball, curve type pitcher, right-hander. His fastball ranges from 85 to 89. That projectile, though, a couple of years ago. So we will see what Brody throws today. We got the radar gun out and ready to go. Brody Jesse versus Bradley McVeigh on the mound. Let's get to the West Coast League standings at the moment. Yakima in charge in the West Coast League North, 7 wins, 2 losses. Wenatchee with a 5-4 record in number 2. Walla Walla in third place with a 6-6 record. Right behind the Sweets is Bellingham with a 5-7 record in 4th place. And in the rear, Port Angeles at a record of 4-8 with in 5th place. So not out of it. Everybody in a tight race in the West Coast League North. In the West Coast League South, where the Portland Pickles are from, they sit tied for 3rd place with Cowlitz, 3 wins, 3 losses. In charge in the South is Ridgefield with 8 wins, 4 losses. Corvallis right behind them in 2nd place, 6 wins, 3 losses. And in the bottom of the barrel in the South and in the entire West Coast League Conference are the Bend Elks. So that is your standings update. Bells looking for their first series victory at home. They've already got one on the road coming from Port Angeles. They'll try to get that here tonight. Starting lineups for you coming up after this quick break. You're listening to Bells Baseball on 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9kbay.com.
Just money.
Great futures start here. Serving 360 kids per day. Supporting academic success. 102,200 meals and snacks served in 2020. Supporting healthy lifestyles. Help us launch great futures by making a gift today at whatcomclubs.org.
As a local wholesale bakery, Flax for Life is a proud sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. We produce allergy-friendly baked goods that are nutritious and delicious. We offer a variety of yummy treats that include
to it first for the visiting Portland Pickles. First time the Bells are seeing the Pickles this season, and the first West Coast League South Division team the Bells have seen so far in this 2021 campaign. Leading things off for the Pickles, Carter Booth. He will be in center field. Batting second, Evan Leibel. He is behind the dish at catcher. Batting third, Jacob Jablonski. He is at shortstop. Leo Mosby is at third base and batting cleanup. Batting fifth, Ivan Luna. He's at first base from Fresno State, Cal State Fresno down in California. And batting sixth is Eamon Lance, the designated hitter tonight for Portland. And batting seventh, Tristan Gomez, the right fielder. Batting eighth, Gabe Scoro. He is in left field. And batting ninth for the Portland Pickles, Ryan Ball. He will be over at second base. And let's go over to the Bellingham Bells. But first, one more reminder for you on the mound for Portland is Bradley McVeigh, the left-hander, getting things started. And he will be facing Emilio Corona, leading things off for the Bells. And in center field, followed by Yugo Hamakawa. He will be batting second and is at second base, his natural habitat. Last night he was over at shortstop, and you could tell a little bit uncomfortable in that position with some of the plays he had to make. Eventually, last night, he was replaced by Riley Parker, who is usually in the shortstop position, and will be back there tonight. So batting third after Yugo Hamakawa is Daniel Jernan, the home run leader for the Bellingham Bells. Batting cleanup is Cole Miller. Got a good batting average to start things off. He is making his first appearance at home, along with Bell's leadoff man, Emilio Corona. So they finally get to play in front of a home crowd with the Bellingham Bells. And batting fifth is Grayson Sterling. We chatted with him a little bit later in the pregame, and you'll love to hear what he had to say about his journey here and how excited he is to be in the lineup tonight. He is the designated hitter, again, batting fifth. Batting sixth, Dylan Joyce. He'll be at first base. Riley Parker, the man we talked about earlier, is at shortstop and batting seventh. Batting eighth is A.J. Davis at third base. And batting ninth, Ezra Samperi behind the dish for the Bells starter, Brody Jesse. The right-hander also from Gonzaga, like the Bells' designated hitter, Grayson Sterling. So the teammates came over from Gonzaga, well, more from Eugene, and to Grayson Sterling's hometown of Boise before coming out to Bellingham. And we talked about that a little bit later in the pregame show. Those two also living together with the same host family. So good friends from Gonzaga making their Bellingham Bells debut here tonight at the Hagen Diamond at Joe Martin Field. Bells looking for their first home series victory, and we will talk with Grayson Sterling, the Bells DH, tonight when we come back after this quick break on 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9KBay.com.
As a local wholesale bakery, Flax for Life is a proud sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. We produce allergy-friendly baked goods that are nutritious and delicious. We offer a variety of yummy treats that include muffins, brownies, cakes, granolas, and our new line of cookies. With flaxseed being the main ingredient in all of our products, you get a tasty treat made from clean ingredients that are loaded with fiber, omega-3s, and healthy protein. You can find us at your favorite local retailers or online at flaxforlife.net. Go Bells!
So, you work with a lender to get a mortgage. You get into your new home and you receive notice that your mortgage company has broken up with you and you'll be sending your payments somewhere else. You deserve a partner who will be there with you every step of the way. At WeQ, we service 100% of our loans. Plus, we're not for profit, so you can rest assured knowing that we'll always have your best interest at heart. For a limited time, get your mortgage through WeQ and receive $500 off closing costs. WeQ is an equal opportunity lender.
The Slow Pitch Sports Grill and Casino has live casino card games and a poker room that features Texas Hold'em and Omaha games. Located in Bellingham, Washington.
Fresh out of school or looking to change careers? Taylor Driving School offers an affordable road to a high-paying career in truck driving. Weekday and weekend classes are available, and after as little as 4 weeks of instruction, you'll be ready to hit the road. Drivers are in high demand, and with reputable instruction from Taylor Driving School, you'll like them.
I missed out on an important note about the standings, and that is how many games behind each of these teams are. And the Bellingham Bells currently sit 3.5 games behind the leader in the West Coast League North Division, which happens to be the Yakima Valley Pippins, and the Pickles sitting 2 games even behind the leader of the West Coast League South in the Ridgefield Raptors, who the Bells will see a little bit later in the month and into July. And the Bells will visit Portland, by the way later in August, starting the month, the 3rd through the 5th. The Bells will visit Portland here in Bellingham this weekend, the first of 6 games between the two teams all season long. So let's jump right into our conversation we had with Grayson Sterling, the man from Gonzaga University, and he had a lot to say about his opportunity in the College World Series. Grayson stands at 6'3", 185 pounds, and is a left-handed batter. Coach Giesland and I chatted about that also later in the pregame, having him as the DH tonight. But in my first conversation with Grayson, I asked him, how was your journey to Bellingham?
Oh, it was a long one, 9.5-hour drive from Boise, Idaho, but it's just nice to be here playing ball again.
That is a really long drive from Boise, 9.5, but he got to do it with his teammate at Gonzaga and teammate with Bellingham in the Bells starter, Brody Jesse. So Grayson Sterling and Jesse were participating in the College World Series and lost in the regional round, but got a win against LSU, and Grayson talked about that when I asked him about his experience in the College World Series.
Yeah, that was an awesome experience being able to play in front of fans in Eugene, play some schools we don't normally get to play, and LSU, and actually steal one from LSU there on the Friday night. That was awesome, a lot of fun.
And on that Friday night, the Gonzaga Bulldogs defeated LSU 3-0, and Grayson Sterling in that game had 2 hits and scored 1 run in the 3-0 victory. That was him telling us about that experience just a moment ago. And since he just arrived in Bellingham, I asked him what he hopes for during this summer, as he and Brody Jesse are now here for the long haul.
Oh, it's just a lot of fun and entertain the fans and make it about them, but also get better and win a lot of ball games, and just get better and have fun here.
Contrary to Bell's teammates Emilio Corona and Cole Miller, Jesse and Sterling will be able to start their Bells debut here in front of some home fans who are piling into the left field grass adjacent to outer left field. Fans sitting in the sunlight soaking up the rays here on this beautiful Friday afternoon on their blankets and lawn chairs, socially distanced of course, but as the restrictions continue to ease, fans getting a little bit more comfortable here at Joe Martin, being around each other. And down to our right, the grandstand bleachers filling up with fans also. Excited that the Bells are back home. And Grayson Sterling, I asked him what it's like being with his host family, who he and Brody are with. And he talked about that first a little bit after I asked him about what he's hoping for here in Bellingham.
Oh, it's been awesome. All of the guys here seem like really good guys. We've been hanging out in the clubhouse, playing ping pong, just talking and getting to know everyone, and they're all awesome guys. It's been sweet.
So that question, I asked him how he was fitting in with the team chemistry, and obviously very well. Bells with a good group of guys, and I asked Grayson, since you and Jesse are with the same host family, well, who are they, and how's that going?
Marty and Jackie Rasmussen with Brody Jesse, nice starting pitcher.
He is tonight's starting pitcher for the Bells, and Sterling and Jesse both thrilled to be here in Bellingham for the season. Right now, the ceremonial first pitch being thrown out on the field, and another new face getting warm for the Bells is Thatcher Hurd, a 2021 high school graduate from the Los Angeles area, Thousand Oaks to be exact, and he is a highly touted MLB draft prospect. He was getting warm with the Bells a little bit earlier during the batting practice and warm-ups, and Thatcher Hurd, I was talking to Adam Giesland, will be getting the start tomorrow, and as we progress throughout this 2021 summer, more and more new faces will begin to show up. And tonight, Brody Jesse and Grayson Sterling both making their Bells debut. Sterling again batting fifth, and Jesse on the mound for the Bells tonight. So we will come back with our chat with head coach Adam Giesland about these newcomers and what he expects to see from both Brody Jesse on the mound and Grayson Sterling at the dish, about easing them into the lineup and getting them comfortable with the guys before maybe using them a little bit more and in different situations. So let's take a quick break, and on the other side, talk to Bells head coach Adam Giesland about how he feels coming back home right here on 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9kbay.com.
Acme Valley ice cream is distinguished by its robust flavor, taffy-like texture, and smooth mouthfeel finish that satisfies with every spoonful. Indulgent and delicious. This is full-strength ice cream, the way it was meant to be, handcrafted here in the Pacific Northwest. Share it with a friend or keep it all to yourself. Once you taste Acme Valley ice cream, you will never settle for less. We truly are, pound for pound, the best around.
When people come before profit, convenience comes without compromise.
That's why BECU has built a top-rated app.
So we can track our spending,
deposit checks,
manage debit and credit cards,
and send money, just like that.
Credit unions are powered by members and the values we share.
And BECU puts that power right in our hands.
So join us.
BECU, more than just money.
Great futures start here. Serving 360 kids per day. Supporting academic success. 102,200 meals and snacks served in 2020. Supporting healthy lifestyles. Help us launch great futures by making a gift today at whatcomclubs.org.
As a local wholesale bakery, Flax for Life is a proud sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. We produce allergy-friendly baked goods that are nutritious and delicious. We offer a variety of yummy treats that include muffins, brownies, cakes, granolas, and our new line of cookies. With flaxseed being the main ingredient in all of our products, you get a tasty treat made from clean ingredients that are loaded with fiber, omega-3s, and healthy protein. You can find us at your favorite local retailers or online at flaxforlife.net. Go Bells!
The Slow Pitch Sports.
The Great West League 2015 to 2017. And the name of the Portland Pickles was announced in a naming contest. And some of the other names that were floated for the Pickles: the Mudhounds, Red Dogs, the Portland Posse, and the Pixels. So a couple of options, and obviously Pickles with the win, and a lot of marketing opportunities for the Pickles, of course. And they are down to our left wearing the navy blue uniform tops with a pickle that, if you know anything, well, obviously everybody knows what a pickle looks like, but if you've ever seen VeggieTales, it looks exactly like the cucumber. I believe that's a cucumber in VeggieTales, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot the name of that cucumber. I think, isn't it Larry? Might be Larry. I don't know. But that is exactly what the Portland Pickles mascot looks like. Not the same in person. They have a mascot that is obviously a giant pickle named Dylan. Dill Pickle. You get the joke. And right now, the pickle mascot on the jersey in front of a baseball is the logo here for the Pickles. Down to our right, the Bellingham Bells in their sleeveless white jerseys getting set for first pitch. Right now, head coach Adam Giesland meeting with the Portland Pickles head coach, and that is Mark Magdaleno, I'm sorry. Magdaleno is the name. I went to introduce myself to Mark in the pregame, well, when the Portland Pickles were taking batting practice, and he introduced himself to me as Mags, so a little bit easier than Magdaleno, but we will stick with Mark Magdaleno, who has a history with head coach Adam Giesland, both coaching at Clark College down in the Vancouver, Washington area, Clark College Penguins. And speaking to Mark Magdaleno a little bit earlier, he said that was Giesland's first coaching job with him and the Clark College Penguins crew down south Washington. And now the two meet with the two home plate umpires atop home plate and discussing tonight's protocol and the normal talk before pregame. Now the handshakes between all four of them, and they will depart to their respective dugouts. A nice handshake between Adam Giesland and Mark Magdaleno. Speaking of Adam Giesland, we talked with him a little bit earlier in the pregame and his excitement about tonight's game and being back home. Here pregame with the Bell's head coach Adam Giesland. Coach, back home after 6 games on the road, how does it feel?
Good to be back home. You know, definitely a little tired. That's a long road trip driving home from PA. So it was an early morning arrival, but I think the guys got some rest and we're ready to go.
In total on the road trip, Bells go 3 wins, 3 losses. What is your interpretation of how the Bells did?
Trending in the right direction. I love the series win at Port Angeles. You know, we weren't able to come away with a sweep, but again, anytime you get a road series win, it's something to build from, and that's exactly what we plan on doing here today as we open with Portland.
Here tonight, a number of new faces for the Bells. Brody Jesse and Grayson Sterling from Gonzaga, and Thatcher Hurd coming. How do you mix them into the lineup, and what do you think of those guys?
Spot, just get him on base and get him over, get him moving. That's the idea.
Feels good to be back home. Coach, good luck tonight. Thanks for this.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it.
We will come right back with first pitch. The Bellingham Bells are back home and welcoming Portland Pickles here to Joe Martin Field. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Bells Baseball on 98.9 K-Bay and online at 989kbay.com. Thank you for that. A little bit of a hard cut there. Meant to give a little bit more. Perfect. This is going to be a little tight. National anthem starting now. I may need a little bit more time on the break. Schultze getting warm in his very first Bells debut. Tall right-hander getting warm with the catcher behind the dish, Ezra Samperi. He also will attend Gonzaga in the fall, but for the first time, he coming from Mount Hood Community College is Ezra Samperi. Bells are out defensively and setting for the first batter, who is Carter Booth, a sophomore at the University of Utah, and leading things off for the Portland Pickles. Here tonight, Ryan Carlson with you, excited to bring you all of tonight's action between the Portland Pickles and the Bellingham Bells. And Bells coming back from 3 games in Port Angeles against division rival Port Angeles Lefties. And it was an entertaining series, Bells winning the first couple of games and losing the third and final by a score of 9-3. And so they'd like to bounce back, get on the winning track after winning their first series of the season. And the Bells beginning a large homestand here tonight. They will host Portland for 3 games this weekend. They will see the Bend Elks for the first time, another West Coast League South opponent, so 2 back-to-back between next Tuesday and next Thursday. And then next weekend we'll face a couple of non-West Coast League teams in the Redmond Dudes and the Cascade Collegiate team made up of also college players from around the country. And tonight we got a great matchup for you. Portland Pickles getting set at the mound is Brody Jesse, and at the plate is Carter Booth, right-hander, stepping up and prepping for the first pitch. A little bit later of a start time, 6:39. It is fired and right down the middle for strike 1. Good fastball. Brody Jesse standing at 6'4", 217. Delivers the 0-1 fastball right down the middle for strike 2. Really caters to his fastball, does Brody Jesse. And we have not seen a radar flash quite yet. Now a line drive, floating foul down the right field side, and it drifts foul out of play. So getting a piece of it there was Carter Booth, staying alive at the plate, down 0-2 is the count. Look in the outfield for the Bells. Cole Miller in left, Emilio Corona in center, and Daniel Jernan over in right field. A.J. Davis at third base, while Riley Parker stands at shortstop, Hugo Hamakawa at second, and Dylan Joyce over at first. The 0-2. He got him. Caught the right edge of the plate, and Carter Booth strikes out looking. What a great start for Brody Jesse. 4 pitches, and knocks down his first batter here in the top of the first. Evan Leibel up now for the Portland Pickles is the catcher, and he tries to check his swing at the first offering. Can't hold up, so strike 1 called. Sets his right foot back. And the left-handed batter, Leibel, who stands at 5'11", 175, sets for the 1-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Brody Jesse working well, working quickly in front of this home crowd at Joe Martin Field. And Leibel taps the plate. 1 gone here, top of the first already. The 0-2. Got him again. Oh, boy. 2 up, 2 down. Couple of strikeout looking here for the Pickles. And Jesse working real quickly. First 4 pitches against the first batter, Carter Booth, clocking in at 93. And then 95.1, followed by 94, and his 5th pitch, first one to Evan Leibel at 96. Oh, boy. Brody Jesse throwing heat out there, and the first pitch missing upstairs for Jacob Jablonski. And that is the first ball delivered from Brody Jesse. Working well, working fast, and working very quickly here in the top of the 4th. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Sweeping swing. And now we are starting to see why he transformed into more of a closing role for Gonzaga this spring. as Portland struggling here early on. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball catching the left edge for strike 2. Jacob Jablonski, a senior at Cal State Chico, stands at 6'2". 210, is a switch hitter, so batting left right now. And the 1-2. Missing just upstairs. Fastball. Ezra Samperi, a good job behind the dish so far. Both Gonzaga students in the fall. And now 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Jesse on his way to the dugout. And the home plate umpire with no call there, ball 3. And the entire outfield now shifting back to their positions as they thought that was the 3rd strike. And now the 3-2. Just missing high again. Brody Jesse calmly. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a full count pitch. I knew that, but I didn't reference it, didn't pick up on it. So walked to first is Jacob Jablonski after a debatable call on the 2-2 pitch. So 1 man aboard for the Portland Pickles here in the top of the first. 2 gone. Brody Jesse on the mound working really well. The right-hander kicks, deals, and falls out of Ezra Samperi's glove missing inside for ball 1. This spring at Gonzaga, by the way, Brody Jesse posting a 4.68 ERA. 17 appearances, no starts, and credited with 2 wins, no losses. The 1-0. In there for strike 1 to Leo Mosby. Right-handed batter, stands at 195 pounds, that is. Stands at 6'1". Taps home plate, twirls the bat, and now the 1-1 pitch from Brody Jesse. Swung on, grounded towards shortstop Riley Parker. He strides in, plays the 3-hopper, and fires to Dylan Joyce at first for out number 3 in the top of the first. Brody Jesse with some exciting stuff here in the top of the inning. Almost retired the side, but walked Jacob Jablonski, the 3rd batter, and Leo Mosby, grounding out 6-3 to retire the side in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the inning, and on the mound for Portland is Bradley McVeigh. He's a lefty, and leading off will be Emilio Corona when we return on your home for Bells baseball, 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9KBay.com.
Acme Valley ice cream is distinguished by its robust flavor, taffy-like texture, and smooth mouthfeel finish that satisfies with every spoonful. Indulgent and delicious. This is full-strength ice cream, the way it was meant to be, handcrafted here in the Pacific Northwest. Share it with a friend or keep it all to yourself. Once you taste Acme Valley ice cream, you will never settle for less. We truly are, pound for pound, the best around.
When people come before profit, convenience comes without compromise.
That's why BECU has built a top-rated app.
So we can track our spending.
Deposit checks.
Manage debit and credit cards.
And send money. Just like that. Credit unions are powered by members and the values we share.
And BECU puts that power right in our hands.
So join us.
BECU, more than just money.
Great futures start here. Serving 360 kids per day. Supporting academic success. 102,000.
In the pregame, when trying to paint the picture of the Portland Pickles mascot, and I was questioning myself about the name of the animated character I was trying to relate the Portland mascot to, and it is actually Larry the Cucumber from VeggieTales. I got that correct. And if you've seen VeggieTales, that character looks exactly like the Portland Pickles mascot that they wear on their uniforms and branding. And like I said earlier, there is a giant mascot that is a pickle. When The Pickles are at home. The Bells will see them again in early August. Leading things off for the Bells, Emilio Corona. First pitch, a slider that is tipped foul. Corona leading the Bells with 6 stolen bases on the season. And joining them in Wenatchee on the first leg of the road trip. Foul tips, 1 straight back, strike 2. And like head coach Adam Giesland said in the pregame, when Emilio Corona is at the plate, all they want him to do is get on because he can do the rest. Swing and a miss at the 0-2. And Bradley McVeigh sits down Corona with 3 pitches here in the bottom of the first. Yugo Hamakawa, the lefty, standing in now with 1 out and nobody on. Bottom of the first. First pitch, fastball in there for strike 1. Yugo, 3 walks last night in Port Angeles and scored on a balk called to Connor Spear, the lefty pitcher. After Yugo made his way around the bases after being walked. And he scored on that balk in the 3rd inning and advanced bases on a couple of pass balls. So sloppy play defensively last night for Port Angeles and a couple of errors for the Bells as well. And Port Angeles getting the win. Bellingham coming home after the game and setting for tonight's matchup. 2 balls, 1 strike to Hamakawa. A slider catching the outside edge for strike 2. Hamakawa glances skyward and then resets at the plate. Sitting back in his stance, the 2-2. And a changeup down in the turf. Ball 3 called. Bradley McVeigh on the mound. His most dangerous offering is a 4-seam fastball. Very similar to Brody Jesse, who was dealing in the top of the inning. Now a ground ball straight up center field, and Yugo Hamakawa on board with a base hit with 1 out in the bottom of the first. Nice rip from Hamakawa. Bradley McVeigh on the mound tried to get in front of it, but just too much of a stinger got into shallow center. Daniel Jernin, a couple of home runs out in Port Angeles, and holds the team lead in home runs with 3 on the season. Check over to first. Hamakawa scrambling back. And Jernin at the plate now with 1 out, 1 runner on. Bradley McVeigh glancing to first, kicks and deals, missing down and inside for ball 2. Jernin stands at 5'11", 205. And waves the bat in his stance. Waiting for the 1-0. Swung on, foul tip. Straight back, and Adam Giesland sending signs to his base runner Hamakawa. And Jernin looking on. On deck for the Bells is Cole Miller. We talked earlier, and Miller excited to be in front of some home fans here for the first time in a Bells uniform. The 1-1, another check over to first. Hamakawa's back safely. Got to watch him also. Plenty of speed on the base paths, like Corona. 1 ball, 1 strike to Daniel Jernin. Just missing outside. 2-seamer with some heat on it. Jernin swipes the plate and readies for the 2-1. Here's the pitch. Missing high now. Some trouble with hitting his spots. Bradley McVeigh in the bottom of the first. Not working nearly as quickly as Brody Jesse did. Get the game started. Another glance to first and a check over there. Third check to first with Hamakawa parked down the right field side. 3 balls, 1 strike to Daniel Jernan. Swung on, foul tip, back to the right, and well out of play. Retrievable for any fans back there out on the concourse. Full count now to Daniel Jernan, who's in right field tonight. Swung on, foul tip again into the glove of the Pickles catcher, who is Evan Leibel. And Jernan alive at the plate still. Jernan last night struck out his first 2 at-bats, flew out to left field, and got aboard on a hit by pitch in the 7th. The night before, though, a home run in the 7th. And a 4th check to first from Bradley McVeigh. Yeah, Jernan getting a home run in his first and second game in Port Angeles, all to left center field. And the right-handed batter faces the full count. Swung on in line to left field. Running to his right is left fielder Gabe Scoro, and he makes the grab off a hard liner from Jernan, who makes his way back to the dugout. So Cole Miller now, the righty, stands at the plate and is excited. Excuse me, to be in front of some Bellingham Bells fans at Joe Martin Field, and takes the first off speed, catching the outside edge for strike 1. Miller batting .375 in just 8 at-bats so far. 3 hits, 2 runs, 4 runs batted in. Sophomore at the University of Washington, as is leadoff man Emilio Corona. And the 0-1 in the dirt, Yugo Hamakawa easily advancing to second base. Pass ball gets through Evan Leibel behind the dish. Cole Miller stands at 6 foot, 185. Now he's got Hamakawa at second base, 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike to Miller. The pitch cracked straight up, drifting back to the right and drifting out of play. With a potential play on it, though, is Ivan Luna, charging all the way from first base. Tried to lunge over the fence in front of the Bells bullpen, but unable to make anything happen there. So walking back is Cole Miller down the first base line. Takes a look at Adam Gieslin at the third base coach position, and at the first base coach position is assistant coach David Higuera. Of course, Jim Clem, Ryder Cunningham, the dugout duo, as is Hayden Hastings over there. The 1-2 foul tip again, directly back. Cole Miller with a 1-2 count. Last night, Miller drawing a couple of walks and made it to second on an error charge to shortstop Nick Oakley last night in Port Angeles, and that scored a run. The 1-2, swing and a miss from Cole Miller. And Bradley McVeigh gets out of the inning for the Portland Pickles. Didn't make it easy on himself, upping his pitch count. Nothing too drastic, as the Pickles also faced 4 batters from the Bells, as Brody Jesse did in the top of the inning. So the Bells strand 1. Hamakawa straight away at second. And we are on our way to the top of the second. No score here in Bellingham. Pickles visiting the Bells, and Brody Jesse back on the mound getting warm we will expect to see some more heat from the tall Anchorage, Alaska native. When we return on your home for Bells Baseball, 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9KBay.com.
Acme Valley ice cream is distinguished by its robust flavor, taffy-like texture, and smooth mouthfeel finish that satisfies with every spoonful. Indulgent and delicious. This is full-strength ice cream, the way it was meant to be, handcrafted here in the Pacific Northwest. Share it with a friend or keep it all to yourself. Once you taste Acme Valley ice cream, you will never settle for less. We truly are, pound for pound, the best around.
When people come before profit, convenience comes without compromise.
That's why BECU has built a top-rated app.
So we can track our spending.
Deposit checks.
Manage debit and credit cards.
And send money. Just like that. Credit unions are powered by members and the values we share.
And BECU puts that power right in our hands.
Brody Jesse throwing some absolute heat at the Hagen Diamond at Joe Martin Field. Back in the top of the first inning, Jesse threw 16 pitches, all of which 93 miles an hour plus. Fastballs, 11 strikes, only 5 balls delivered. And he is working quickly, working well. And the 1-1 now to Ivan Luna, the leadoff man, here in the top of the second for the Portland Pickles. And in the last top half of the inning, in the first, Jesse almost retiring the side on a fastball that looked well inside from our vantage point up here high above home plate at Joe Martin Field. But a called ball as the entire infield and defensive field for the Bells made their way to the dugout on what they thought would be a strike 3, but not the case. And already walked here in the top of the second is Ivan Luna with a good eye at the plate. Brody Jesse distributing his second free pass of the night. Again, the first one debatable on the way the call went. This one not as much. Ivan Luna now at first, nobody out, top of the second. First pitch, fastball missing outside. Talked about Thatcher Hurd in the pregame, and he will be the Bells starter tomorrow. So a couple of solid arms for the Bells getting things started this weekend. The 1-0, this time catching the right edge of the plate for strike 1. Bells beginning their long homestand here at Joe Martin with tonight's matchup against South Division rival Portland. The 1-1 foul tip directly back towards our booth, and strike 2 the call. By the way, the man at the plate, Amon Lance. He is the DH tonight for Portland and stands at 6'2", 190. Sophomore at Santa Clara University down in Silicon Valley. And the 1-2 from Jesse. Grounded towards the right infield gap. It gets through. Daniel Jernan coming in and glancing over at second. Runners stays. That's Ivan Luna. And so a base hit from Amon Lance. Gets 2 runners aboard here, top of the second, with nobody out. Jesse trying to drop a changeup in there. And Amon Lance hopping all over that. Now Jesse in some trouble for the first time here in the top of the second. Bunt shows. Strike called. As Tristan Gomez trying to knock one down. Gomez, a tall left-handed batter, 6'4", 185. and is a sophomore at Cal State Fullerton. Now the one-strike pitch from Brody Jesse. Bunt shows again, lays it down. Jesse charging in. He's going to make the play to first. And nice pick from Hamakawa at first. Oh boy, as that ball skipped right in front of him from Jesse. Hamakawa pushing both of his hands down, saying, I got this one. And gets the ground out. Nice sacrifice bunt from Tristan Gomez. Laid it down perfectly to his left. Advancing runners from first and second to second and third, both in scoring position. Ivan Luna at third and Amon Lane straight away at second. Gabe Scoro is batting eighth and up now for Portland. And a fastball missing high from Jesse. One ball, no strikes. Swung on and popped to shallow right. Taking a couple of back steps is Hamakawa with a little bit of a leap and making the grab with his left hand for out number 2. Good play from Hamakawa, back in his natural position at second base. Again, last night Hamakawa started at shortstop and was later moved over to second base when Riley Parker came in. A couple of fielding blunders from Hamakawa. Nothing too major at shortstop, but obviously prefers to be at second base. So 2 outs, top of the second. Ryan Ball, bottom of the order for Portland, up now, and watches the first pitch. Fastball straight down the middle for strike 1. Jesse sets with his right arm hanging beneath his right shoulder and catches the sign from Samperi. The 0-1 to Ryan Ball. Ball thinks about it, but pitch misses just upstairs for ball 1. Ryan Ball, a sophomore at Cal State Northridge. Stands at 6 foot 190, bats left. And the 1-1. Fastball missing just outside this time for ball 2. Runners on first and second. It's Ivan Luna over at third and Amon Lance, at second. Both advancing to those positions off a sac bunt that Tristan Gomez laid down. The 2-1 pitch. Catching the inside edge for strike 2. So Brody Jesse, the Anchorage, Alaska native, trying to get out of this jam here. 2 runners on second and third. He rocks and delivers. Missing just upstairs again. And Jesse's got a full count. Payoff pitch. Swung on and foul tipped into the backstop. Nice number of fans on hand here, by the way, at the Hagen Diamond at Joe Martin Field. Perfect night for some Friday night baseball. It's been a 70-degree and sunny day all day long in Bellingham, and the sun high in the sky above right field, dropping behind Bellingham Bay. That's way out in the distance, and we can see just a little bit from our broadcast vista. And down on the field, the full count. Cracked into center field. Center right, that is. Running over is Emilio Corona. Back about 10 yards in front of the track, making the grab for out number 3 here in the top of the second. So the Portland Pickles, we just came from Port Angeles, and I am trying to adjust to that, as the Portland Pickles strand a couple at second and third here in the top of the second. No score quite yet. And the Bells will be up next, and leading things off will be Grayson Sterling in his Bells debut. That will be fun to watch, the big, tall, powerful left-hander, when we come back on your Bells Baseball Radio Network, 98.9 K-Bay and 989kbay.com. Grayson Sterling making his Bells debut and is at the plate right now. The lefty watches the first pitch. Slider missing down and away for ball one. By the way, our statistician tonight alerted us that Brody Jesse only going fastball and top of the lineup coming up in the top of the third. We'll see what adjustments are made, if any, from Jesse on the mound. And the pitchers, or the batters rather, for the Pickles at the plate. Sterling tries to check a swing, can't hold up, and strike one called. After a couple of balls, so 2 on the count to Grayson Sterling. Another check swing try, and he can't hold up as strike 2 is called now. Two balls, 2 strikes. This time a real swing. Foul tip, though, into the netting. Jesse's count, by the way, through 2 innings on the mound for the Bells. 36 pitches. Really working quickly and working well. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Grayson Sterling. This time skipping off the right-handed batter's box before getting to the catcher, Evan Leibel, for ball 3. So a full count to the first batter here in the bottom of the second. Bells at the plate with Grayson Sterling. Payoff pitch is down and away, ball 4. So Sterling does what he needs to do, get on board. With nobody out, bottom of the second. And Dylan Joyce receiving signs from Adam Giesen at the third base spot. And gets ready. Joyce batting 330 at-bats this season so far. Draws a couple of horizontal lines, 1 on home base and 1 in front, now sets. Watches the first pitch, slider, catching inside for strike 1. Glance to first base from McVeigh, and he delivers the 0-1, this time inside. Dylan Joyce having to flex back and out of the way. More stats for Joyce, by the way. 9 hits, 5 runs, 3 runs batted in. And now he lines one down the left field side and foul. Ricochets off the fence and into left field, where Gabe Scoro comes trotting over and will retrieve the baseball, get it out of the playing field. Dylan Joyce, a sophomore at the University of Puget Sound, stands tall at 6'4" and takes the 1-2, foul tipped into the backstop. From San Rafael, just north of San Francisco, in Marin County. Now the powerful Dylan Joyce looking for his first home run of the year. Sets for the 1-2. Swung on and grounded towards Ryan Ball. He goes to second, in time, now to first, also in time. So Joyce grounds into a double play for 6-3. And there are 2 gone here in the bottom of the second. Big sigh of relief from Bradley McVeigh and the Portland Pickles. So that clears the bases and 2 outs, bottom of the second. Riley Parker up now, fouls one. That's drifting out of play. And it dropped quickly, otherwise Ivan Luna might have had a play on it into foul territory down the right base side. No balls, 1 strike to Riley Parker, the shortstop for the Bells tonight. He has 4 hits in his last 3 ball games. And batting .200 on the year. Now he cracks one into left field. It gets down and through. Gabe Scoro out there. He collects and cuts off the runner at first. And Riley Parker will stay put with a base hit. And 2 gone, bottom of the second inning.
Our third baseman from Lewis Clark State University, number 9, A.J. Davis.
A.J. Davis now batting 8th for the Bells and at the plate. He's got a man on first. That's Riley Parker. And Davis batting .233 on the year. And a check over to first. Sauntering back is Grayson Sterling, who got aboard with a leadoff walk. A.J. Davis, his grandpa, an avid Bells listener. We thank you for tuning in wherever you may be listening to Bells baseball tonight and whenever the Bells are on the field. The 0-1. Well, that actually was the first pitch to Davis. I'm sorry, the scoreboard ahead of me here at Joe Martin Field. No balls, 1 strike to A.J. Davis. Foul tips the fastball straight back for strike 2. Davis, by the way, stands at 6'2", 180. Bats right, throws right, and is at the third base spot tonight for Ty Saunders, where Ty usually is. Ty Saunders not in action tonight. Now another check to first. Grayson Sterling gets back. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Riley Parker. I'm not sure what I'm thinking on that one. Dylan Joyce grounded into a double play, which got Sterling and Joyce out of action, obviously. Time called at the plate. And Riley Parker aboard at first with a base hit just prior to this at-bat. No balls, 2 strikes to A.J. Davis. Swing and a miss at the 0-2. And Bradley McVeigh knocks him down for his 3rd strikeout of his outing. And we are through 2 innings here in Bellingham. No score. To the top of the 3rd we go. Portland up next, and it is the top of their lineup. Carter Booth leading things off. Brody Jesse making his way onto the mound for Bellingham. We will take a short break and see what Jesse does after working quickly through the first rotation of the Portland lineup. And he is getting warm now as we speak down on the synthetic turf mound. So we will step aside and come back on your home for Bells Baseball, 98.9 K-Bay, and online at 98.9kbay.com. Well, we got some good action here through 2 innings. And Brody Jesse back on the mound. First pitch to Carter Booth. Foul tip, straight back, strike 1. Brian Carlson here with you. Excited to bring Bell's baseball to you all summer long. And the 0-1 to Booth. This time an off speed that falls in and gets an applause out of the crowd for strike 2. The 0-2 pitch missing just downstairs from Jesse for ball 1. And now the 1-2, a little bit high and in tight to Carter Booth. He has to lean away from that one. And missing for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes now to Jesse. Back in the first. Carter Booth struck out looking. And now the 2-2. Missing high and inside again, this time in front of the batting gloves against the right-hander Carter Booth. And now a full count to lead off the top of the 3rd. 3-2, foul tip off and to the right, drifting out of play. This is the first South Division West Coast League team the Bells will have seen this season. And we'll see a total of 6 times later in the first week of August. So now another full count, payoff pitch try from Jesse. Missing outside, and Carter Booth is walked to lead off this inning. Evan Leibel up now, and he leads the Portland Pickles, by the way, in batting average at .368 in 19 at-bats. He's got 7 hits, 4 runs, and 2 doubles on the year. Struck out back in the top of the first, and the first pitch to Leibel. Bunt shows, and he doesn't get what he wants on it, as it's floated up to A.J. Davis, who makes the grab at shallow, well, along the third baseline in the infield for out number 1. And then an immediate check to first. Diving back was Carter Booth. Davis thought he had him, but not the case. Good effort by Davis over at third to get under that bunt and make the immediate throw to first. But only 1 out, Carter Booth remaining at first. And at the plate now, Jacob Jablonski. Brody Jesse sets and deals. First pitch fastball missing down and away from the left-handed Jablonski. Who is 3rd in the batting average category on the Portland Pickles roster, batting .348. And now faces the 1-0. Fastball missing just upstairs from Jesse. Flails his right arm and resets on the mound. Brody having to mix things up here in the top of the 3rd, having gone through the entire lineup once and only dealing fastballs, like we mentioned. 36 pitches through the first 2 innings from Jesse. And now in the top of the 3rd here, walking Carter Booth to lead it off. And with 1 out, Jablonski now at the plate with a 2-0 count. Inside, ball 3. Jablonski shrugs his shoulders and resets for the 3-0. The offering. Missing high, and a 4-pitch walk to Jablonski at the plate. Jesse missing high with most of his deliveries there, and Ezra Samperi scampers out from behind home plate and visits Jesse on the mound. And he will be accompanied by Jim Clem, who's sauntering out there as well. 2 runners on now for the Portland Pickles. Jim Clem out there to calm Brody Jesse down just a little bit in his Bells debut, and looked really good out of the gates, knocking down the first 2 batters for Portland. Both caught him looking. And now in the top of the 3rd inning, a couple of runners on the base with 1 out. Jim Clem and Ezra Samperi going back to their respective positions. And batting now for Portland is Leo Mosby. The 3rd baseman stands at 6'1", 195. And is a right-handed batter, has royal blue Adidas cleats wearing. High navy blue socks in the box. The first pitch. Grounded towards 3rd baseman Davis. He plays it off the 1 hop and goes to first for out number 2. Good play there from Davis at 3rd, coming in and reading it well. But it advances the runners from 1st and 2nd to 2nd to 3rd. And it is Carter Booth, 90 feet away. Ivan Luna batting for Portland here in the top of the 3rd, 2 outs. The left-hander sets for the first pitch from Jesse. And a fastball just missing downstairs. That one looked pretty good, clocking in at 93. We now have a live radar clock for us down the left field side. 1 ball, no strikes. Swing and a miss. Ivan Luna wanting all of that one. Clocking in at 91. Jesse sticking with his fastball. Luna, a junior at Fresno State, wears a right armband like Yugo Hamakawa does, but Hamakawa from Northwestern Oklahoma State. And the 1-2 foul tip straight back over the helmet of Samperi. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luna bats left and was walked back in the 2nd and stranded at 3rd base. Runners at 2nd and 3rd for Portland, and the 1-2 from Jesse. Swing and a miss. He left it outside and tempted Luna to take a hack at it, and he got him fishing. Strike him out in the top of the 3rd. To the bottom we go. No score here in Bellingham. It's the Portland Pickles visiting the Bellingham Bells. You're listening to Bellingham Bells Baseball on 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9kbay.com. Caught the final strike for the final out in the top of the 3rd inning. And now he is making his first plate appearance for the Bells here tonight during this game. He's been at the plate before. And now batting 9th for the Bells, leading off the bottom of the 3rd. Speaking of which, Samperi is batting .286 on the year and 14 at-bats, with 3 runs batted in total. Takes ball 1 from McVeigh. Now pops the 1-0 to shallow right field. Drifting back is Tristan Gomez in front of the track and makes the grab for out number 1 in the bottom of the 3rd.
Now batting, number 16, Emilio Corona.
No score to speak of here in Bellingham. And some good pitching to get things started, both from Bradley McVeigh and Brody Jesse. The left-handed McVeigh delivers the first pitch to Corona, who has to turn back towards the grandstand to avoid that pitch. Ball one. Corona struck out back in the bottom of the first inning. And now the 1-0 foul tip off the end of the bat for strike one. Corona and Cole Miller, both sophomores at the University of Washington, and making their first appearance here at home for the Bells. And Corona lines one foul, scorching down the left field side and out of play into the Portland Pickles bullpen. A couple of fans running over asking if they can have that foul ball. Of course, the grass knoll out adjacent to left field, full of fans. Emilio Corona has to sweep his feet backwards in the right-handed batter's box to avoid the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Looked like he may have gotten tagged and injured himself with that one, but he gets up and now ready for the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. And a swing and a miss in the dirt. Foul tip. It's running back. And Corona running to first beats the throw to Ivan Luna as Corona foul tips it past Evan Leibel on the 2-2. And 2 outs gone here, bottom of the third. Yugo Hamakawa, the lefty, up with 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch, 88-mile-an-hour fastball, missing upstairs. Yugo with a base hit back in the first, watches the 1-0 sail up inside the zone for strike one. And the 1-1, Bradley McVeigh working quickly. Offers a slider down and away, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Hamakawa. Batting .282 coming into tonight's game, and he's got a base hit again back in the first. The 2-1 in there for strike 2. Hamakawa frustrated at himself after watching that one sail in there. 2-2 with 2 outs. A hanging curveball missing inside by the red batting gloves of Yugo Hamakawa, who swipes his left foot across the left batter's box turf and now faces a full count. McVeigh sets and delivers. Swing and a miss. Yugo with one hand on the bat in the follow through. That was his right hand. And the side is retired in the bottom of the inning. So we are now through 3 and no score. A good close matchup here with Portland and Bellingham. And we will come back with the top of the 4th inning. And it looks like we may have, well, I don't want to leave you guessing during the break. So we'll see who comes out to pitch before we depart. And it is a new pitcher. It's going to be Zach Simon from Corbin University. He works well and works quickly. And he started a couple times this season so far, now coming in for the top of the 4th. We'll tell you a little bit more about Zach when we come back on your home for Bells Baseball, 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9kbay.com.
Acme Valley ice cream is distinguished by its robust flavor, taffy-like texture, and smooth mouthfeel finish that satisfies with every spoonful. Indulgent and delicious. This is full-strength ice cream, the way it was meant to be, handcrafted here in the Pacific Northwest. Share it with a friend or keep it all to yourself. Once you taste Acme Valley ice cream, you will never settle for less. We truly are, pound for pound, the best around.
When people come before profit, convenience comes without compromise.
That's why BECU has built a top-rated app.
So we can track our spending.
Deposit checks.
Manage debit and credit cards.
And send money. Just like that. Credit unions are powered by members and the values we share.
And BECU puts that power right in our hands.
So join us.
BECU, more than just money.
Great futures start here. Serving 360 kids per day. Supporting academic success. 102,200 meals and snacks served in 2020. Supporting healthy lifestyles. Help us launch great futures by making a gift today at whatcomclubs.org.
Thanks. Well, when we left for a break here on the Bells Radio Network, Zach Simon took the mound and he got warm and is delivering the 1-2 pitch currently to Amon Lane. Coming back a little bit later, a couple of foul balls. Now a drive into center field. Running back is Corona. He's got the speed to get there, but he can't. Extends his left arm. The ball gets all the way back to the wall, and a leadoff double here in the top of the fourth inning for Amon Lane, as Corona was caught a little bit too shallow on that hard line drive to center field. And is there, and the throw from Corona coming into Riley Parker to halt Amon Lane at second, where he is now. Not a good start for Zach Simon on the mound. He has a couple of starts already this season, like I said a little bit earlier. One on June 6th here at Joe Martin, the third of 3 games against Port Angeles on opening weekend. And now the first pitch to Tristan Gomez is delayed because Simon glances at second, where Amon Lane getting a leadoff. Watching him, Riley Parker at shortstop. Pitcher's shadow cast halfway between the mound and the third baseline. And the first pitch is foul tip off to the left from Tristan Gomez, who laid down a sac bunt back in the second, advancing the runners into scoring position. Those runners, Ivan Luna, Amon Lance, would both be stranded. No score, top of the fourth inning. Zach Simon coming on for Brody Jesse, who goes 3 innings in his Bells debut. And the 0-1. Line towards the pitcher's mound. Simon thinks about third, but makes the easy play at first instead for out number 1. A tall one-hopper lands for Zach Simon, and advancing to third on the play is Amon Lance. Pretty sure I've called him Amon Lane a couple of times. I gotta fix my penmanship in my scorebook. I have that to blame for it. First pitch to Gabe Scoro is in there for strike 1. Nice fastball at 90, catching the outside edge. Zach Simon, a native of Las Vegas, Nevada. And we were chatting about the NHL Conference Finals going on right now with his Vegas Golden Knights. And he is all about it. Delivers the 0-1, missing just upstairs for ball 1. I told him that I disagree with him, I'll put it that way, in terms of Las Vegas, but being a Vegas native, I can see the excitement he has for his hometown team. And now the 1-1 cracked into shallow right field. Daniel Jernin is there. Tagging up at third is Amon Lane, but the throw comes in from Jernin, and Lance, that is, thinks twice about it and returns to third base. I really don't know why I want to call him Lane. It is Amon Lance, and I've called that name before. It's the interesting thing. He's a sophomore at Santa Clara University. And he is safe at third, 90 feet away with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Zach Simon, his first appearance, that is not a start this season. And the first pitch is grounded into shallow center. Coming home from third is Amon Lance. And an RBI base hit for Ryan Ball in the top of the 4th. Gets Portland on the board. And the first run on the board here in Bellingham.
Now batting your Dairy Queen burger batter of the game, Carter Booth.
Check out to first from Simon. Ryan Ball scrambles back. And we are at the top of the lineup. Carter Booth here in the top of the 4th. Simon rocks, kicks, and deals. Grounded towards third baseman A.J. Davis, but the ball fumbles foul. Two gone here, top of the 4th. Bell's down by 1 run now to the visiting Portland Pickles. And Carter Booth at the dish with Ryan Ball over at first base, who drove home the first run of the game. The 0-1 now to Carter Booth. Cracked right at Simon. He fields it off the 1 hop and underhands it to Dylan Joyce calmly at first base for out number 3. Only 1 run given up here in the top of the 4th. It is the first run of the ball game, and that came after Amon Lance got aboard with a double to lead things off, and Ryan Ball brought him back home in the top of the 4th. Ball batting 4th in the inning and drove him in on an RBI single. Lance was at third when that happened. It looks like we have a pitching change. No, we don't. It is Bradley McVeigh on the mound for the bottom of the 4th inning. When we come back, you are listening to Bell's Baseball on 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9KBay.com. Jernan leading off the bottom of the 4th for the Bells, and he floats one into shallow center. Tracking it as Carter Booth makes the grab for the first out of the inning. And as quickly as that, 1 gone for the Bells. Daniel Jernan, a couple of flyouts already with that one. And that will bring up Cole Miller to the plate. Struck out back in the first inning. And happy about playing in front of some home fans here at the Hagen Diamond and Joe Martin Field. Bleachers getting more occupied as the game advances from when we last glanced at them in the pregame. First pitch to Cole Miller, misses for ball 1, 87 miles an hour. 1-0 to Miller, foul tip, back to the right and out of play. He watches it sail back there beyond the backdrop, beyond the grandstand here at Joe Martin Field. Cole Miller taps home plate and sets for the 1-1. Bradley McVeigh still on the mound for Portland and delivers the 1-1. Popped straight up, it's playable. McVeigh looking skyward and now averts the attempt to make the catch as first baseman Ivan Luna charges in and says, I got that one, and does make the grab for out number 2. Grayson Sterling getting another chance to showcase his power here at the plate with 2 outs. In the bottom of the 4th, Bells down by 1 and nobody on. In the opening contest against the Portland Pickles. McVeigh receives the sign and delivers ball 1 to Sterling at 89 down and away. The 1-0, McVeigh working quickly, a grounder towards third base. Playing off the 2-hop is Leo Mosby, and he chucks it over to first. Ivan Luna with a scooping grab makes it for out number 3 in the bottom of the 4th. So a 1-2-3 inning. Go the Bells, and we are on our way to the top of the 5th as quickly as that. 1 run scored in the 4th, and that came courtesy of the Portland Pickles. Getting the RBI single was Ryan Ball, and leading off the top of the 5th will be Evan Leibel, the catcher for the Pickles, when we return on your home for Bells Baseball, 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9KBay.com.
Acme Valley ice cream is distinguished by its robust flavor, taffy-like texture, and smooth mouthfeel finish that satisfies with every spoonful. Indulgent and delicious. This is full-strength ice cream, the way it was meant to be, handcrafted here in the Pacific Northwest. Share it with a friend or keep it all to yourself. Once you taste Acme Valley ice cream, you will never settle for less. We truly are, pound for pound, the best around.
Zach Simon back on the mound for the Bells here in the top of the 5th inning. And delivers a sweeping curveball that catches Evan Leibel swinging. And now again, that time at 80 miles an hour, both curveballs clocking in at 80. And already 2 strikes to Evan Leibel. Simon working comfortably and quickly here in the top of the 5th. And the 0-2 pitch, fastball missing upstairs for ball 1. Again, I was talking about how Zach is from Vegas and a big Golden Knights fan. Currently, the Knights playing the Canadiens out in Montreal. That game going into overtime at 3-3. Here, though, the 1-2 pitch popped foul into the crowded outfield grass adjacent to left field, where all the families with their kids are sitting, and all those kids, by the way, charging towards that foul ball, trying to get there first. They like to get autographs from Bellingham Bells after the game. The 1-2 grounded to Hamakawa, a slow grounder, and he's able to field it, toss it over to Joyce at first for out number 1. So Evan Leibel, the leadoff man, retired quickly, and speaking of quickly, in the bottom half of the 4th, Bradley McVeigh only needed 6 pitches for a 1-2-3 inning and retired the Bells very quickly. And so we will more than likely see Bradley McVeigh back for a 5th inning in the bottom half. As Zach Simon delivers the first pitch, and off speed down in the dirt the infield, well, the synthetic turf dirt, if you will, to that's Jacob Jablonski, number 6 for Portland. 1 out, top of the 5th. Check swing is successful. 2 balls now to Jablonski. Simon now delivering the 2-0. Nobody on. 1 out. And a slider starting outside, coming back in for strike 1. Good pitch. Simon, a big fan of card games, likes to play that on the road with his teammates, and the 2-1 in there for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In fact, on the road in Wenatchee, Bells had to check out a little early from the hotel and had some time to kill before their game that night against the Wenatchee Apple Sox. So Simon broke out his deck of Star Wars cards, and all the boys were playing in the lobby, and he knocks down Jacob Jablonski on the 2-2. Got him looking there. Good pitch from Simon. Was trying to think of a Star Wars phrase or line to use there to play with my Star Wars deck of cards train of thought, but I couldn't, so best I could do is Zach Simon got him looking, and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Simon working quickly. Slider falling away from Leo Mosby now, who is a 6'1", 195-pound right-handed batter and is in the infield tonight for Portland at third base. The 1-0 just missing upstairs, down the middle, but ball 2 called. Mosby tonight 0 for 2, couple of groundouts, 1 in the 1st and 3rd. Here in the top of the 5th, nobody on, 2 outs. Take strike 1 on the 2-0. So Mosby resets. Simon wanting to get out of this inning quickly. And the 2-1, another slider. Breaking to Simon's left. Off the right-hander, falling into the zone, strike 2. That's a good pitch. Two balls, 2 strikes to Mosby. Swing and a miss. Simon goes with the fastball and sweeps his right leg on the follow-through in a little bit of a celebration. Now he's all smiles on his way back to the Bells dugout. And so are the Bells through 4 1/2. We go to the bottom of the 5th. And the Bells are due up next after a 1-2-3 inning from Simon. Good answer. And Dylan Joyce will lead things off for the Bells when we return on your home for Bells baseball, 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9kbay.com. Dylan Joyce making his second plate appearance here in the bottom of the 5th, leading things off. First pitch, a swing and a miss. Strike 1 from Bradley McVeigh, who we expected to see back on the mound after a 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th inning. And now the 0-1 gets away from Evan Leibel behind the dish. Ball 1 called. And again, only 6 pitches for Bradley McVeigh in the bottom of the 4th. And then Zach Simon answered back with a 1-2-3 inning of his own. A couple of strikeouts and helped by his infield, rather. Executing on a ground out to lead things off for Portland in the top half of this 5th inning. Joyce now at the dish, a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss. And Dylan Joyce goes down swinging, 0 for 2 now on the night, and that is Bradley McVeigh's 5th strikeout of his outing. Riley Parker, one of 2 bells with a base hit tonight. His coming back in the bottom of the 2nd, takes ball 1. Parker had a little bit of a hit streak going on the road, but it ended in Port Angeles. Now he flares one out to right field. Drifting foul, may be playable. Not the case for Tristan Gomez, as that ball lands in the corner where the outfield wall meets the right field wall, just to the right of the foul pole, by the way. So Parker got a hold of it, but 1 ball, 1 strike the count now, with 1 out. Bottom of the 5th, nobody on. Parker swings and foul tips one back into Evan Leibel for strike 2. Sun continuing to set back beyond right field. And the 1-2. Grounded towards third base and rolling foul. And that one was a little close at the bag, as it seemed to just skip foul before it made it to the third base. So nonetheless, foul ball called. Riley Parker having to make his way back to home plate now, after sharing a laugh with first base coach and assistant coach David Higuera. I guess it'd be acceptable to call him first base coach. He has been there all season long. And Bell's second assistant coach, Hayden Hastings, might replace him halfway through the season. I don't know what the plan is. I could be completely wrong. But Hastings and Higuera, a dynamic assistant coaching duo, helping head coach Adam Giesland and pitching coach Jim Clem with all the coaching duties, doing a great job for the Bells. Parker still out the plate, fouls the next pitch back, 1-2. The count remains. The kick and delivery from McVeigh. Foul tip again. Parker staying alive down there. And by the way, just to mention the Portland coaching staff, head coach Mark Magdaleno is the head coach. Assistants are Jim Hopple and John Jensen. Pitching coaches Brian Grant and baseball ops Justin Barchis. The 1-2, swing and a miss from Parker. So 2 outs gone in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody on, and that is the second K of the inning for Bradley McVeigh. Good outing for McVeigh so far. A total of 6 strikeouts. And now a line from A.J. Davis to right field. It gets down for a base hit. On the very first pitch, Davis is offered, and he spoils the 1-2-3 inning that Bradley McVeigh had going there. Nice work from A.J. Davis, his first hit in quite some time. Get a little bit more of an accurate statement on that in a moment, but he was desperate for a base knock, and he gets one there here in the bottom of the 5th. Last night he was replaced by Riley Parker in the 6th. Night before went 0 for 4. And his last hit way back on June 13th, a check over to first from Bradley McVeigh. And on June 13th, he drove in 5 runs on a single, triple and another single. So a very offensive night for Davis. We know what he's capable of. And he gets a base knock here and is at first. At the plate now, Ezra Samperi. The 0-1 foul tip off to the right for strike 2. Samperi flying out to right field back in the third. Stands at 5'7", 160, and the right-handed batter faces an 0-2 count with A.J. Davis over at first. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Bells down by 1. Foul tip from Samperi. Takes a look at his wood bat. Now receives signs from Gieslin at third. On deck for the Bells. Top of the lineup, Emilio Corona. We'll see if we get there. McVeigh rocking on the mound and offering. Runner goes from first, and the tag attempt gets through second baseman Jacob Jablonski. No, that's shortstop Jablonski, who tumbles over Davis as he was diving towards second and is there, standing up now. Successful stolen base. Good running by Davis, making his base hit really count, and now Samperi has a 1-2 count at the plate. Time called briefly for McVeigh on the mound, and he calls his catcher Evan Leibel to come visit him, discussing strategy here. A brief meeting to discuss his pitch and Bradley McVeigh, his most dangerous offering, a 4-seamer. Also likes the change and curve. The 1-2. Not time, fastball missing outside. Two balls, 2 strikes to Ezra Samperi. Foul tip, drifting off to the right. Samperi staying alive here in the bottom of the 5th. Only a 1-run ball game. Scored back in the top of the 4th by Portland. Samperi watches the 2-2 miss way out to Ezra's right. Now a full count with 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th inning. Runner on second, that's A.J. Davis getting a lead off, thinking about making a play as Jablonski right behind him. He eases off, the 3-2 falls outside, ball 3. So Samperi walked on a long at-bat on a full count. And with 2 outs, top of the lineup, Emilio Corona will be up next with 2 runners on.
Number 16, Emilio Corona.
Corona 0 for 2 on the night and has a lot of pop at the plate and speed like we talked about earlier. Stands at 6 foot 190, 2 runners on. First pitch, a curveball falling just inside in front of the knees. A little bit too close inside, ball 1. (1-0) to Emilio Corona. A glance at second from McVeigh. Swing and a miss. Or rather a swing and a foul tip. Back into the mesh netting behind home plate. Strike 1. Another glance at second. And again from the left-handed Bradley McVeigh. The 1-1 inside, ricochets off the glove of Evan Leibel. He scrambles to his left to scoop it up, but not in time to make the play to third as A.J. Davis advances, and Ezra Samperi does as well to second base. Now a visit to the mound, not from the head coach for Portland, Mark Magdaleno, rather pitching coach Brian Grant. And a visit from the Pickles infield also. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. McVeigh has the capability to get it done. And now with a couple runners in scoring position, just trying to calm down, stay composed, as Jim Grant making his way back. Brian Grant, pitching coach for Portland, making his way back to the Portland dugout. Brian Grant, by the way, was drafted out of Diablo Valley College in Pleasant Hill, California, by the Toronto Blue Jays in 1993. So a veteran coach there for Portland. Corona pops one straight down, and on his way to first is thrown out by the catcher, Evan Leibel, for out number 3. So Emilio popped it straight down, and it didn't go very far. Evan Leibel able to get there with plenty of time. And as Corona was on his way to first, Leibel had plenty of time to make the throw and get out number 3. So the Bells leave a couple of runners stranded at second and third. Their best scoring opportunity of this ball game. Zach Simon is back on the mound and warming up. He would like another quick inning here in the top of the 6th. And we will see what happens when we return. Bells down by 1 run going into the 6th. You are listening to Bellingham Bells Baseball on 98.9 KBay and 98.9KBay.com.
The Slow Pitch Sports Grill and Casino has live casino card games in a poker room that features Texas Hold'em and Omaha games. Located in Bellingham, Washington.
Fresh out of school or looking to change careers? Taylor Driving School offers an affordable road to a high-paying career in truck driving. Weekday and weekend classes are available, and after as little as 4 weeks of instruction, you'll be ready to hit the road. Drivers are in high demand, and with reputable instruction from Taylor Driving School, you'll likely graduate with a job that will have you driving immediately. Financial aid options are available. Find out more online or by calling Taylor Driving School and get started on your new career today.
Luna leading things off for the Portland Pickles here, top of the 6th. Lines a base hit into shallow left. Drops before Cole Miller, well before, as it was a sharp liner. And so Ivan Luna aboard at first base. For the Pickles. And now Amon Lance at the dish. Had a base hit in the 2nd. And a double in the 4th. Foul tips the first pitch behind him to the left. Zach Simon still on the mound. His last inning went 3 up, 3 down. Couple of Ks. And has 2 on his outing so far. A glance to first base. And now the 0-1 coming to Amon Lance. Nice curveball falling in there for strike 2. All Lance could do was watch. Lance was brought home in the top of the 4th and scored the only run in this ball game. A quick and aggressive check to first. Scampering back is Ivan Luna. Now Zach Simon sets for the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Simon gets his 3rd K of the night, his 3rd in only 4 batters faced. Turning it on here in the top of the 6th. Good stuff from Simon. And now up to bat now is Tristan Gomez. A couple of groundouts in this ball game. One on a sac bunt, advancing a couple of runners to second and third. And again in the 4th. Thrown out by catcher Ezra Samperi at first. First pitch to Gomez outside for ball 1. Simon taps his chest, taking responsibility for that wayward fastball. And the 1-0 to Gomez. Misses high again. Simon shakes it off. More upset at himself. Now takes a deep breath and resets. Pitcher's shadow casting all the way now to the third baseline as the sun continues to set off beyond right field. And a slider delivered from Simon, just missing upstairs for ball 3. Over at first is Ivan Luna, nobody else on. 1 gone here, top of the 6th. First of 3 meetings between the Bells and the Portland Pickles here tonight for this weekend series. The 3-0. And just missing the outside edge. So, Tristan Gomez walked on a 4-0 count. And now with 1 gone, top of the 6th, the Pickles have 2 runners on, first and second. Simon, 3 strikeouts in his last 5 batters faced. Now glances to second where Ivan Luna stands, delivers the first pitch, a slider that's hung a little bit too far inside against right-handed batting Gabe Scoro. Had to back away off of that pitch for ball 1. Scoro, a senior at the University of Portland, and he has Portland Pilots purple batting gloves. Now he floats one at Yugo Hamakawa. Second base, tosses to second for out number 1. Well, out number 2, that is. And the first to Dylan Joyce from second baseman, well, shortstop Riley Parker to first baseman Dylan Joyce. My mind's all over the place after that one. It happened so quickly. But to break it down for you, Gabe Scoro grounds into a double play and retires the side. Does the Bells infield in the top of the 6th. So the Pickles strand a couple, and we will come back with the bottom of the 6th. Bellingham Bells down by 1, and it looks like a new pitcher on the mound for Portland to get the bottom of the 6th started against the Bells. We'll come back and see what the Bells can do on your home for Bells baseball. 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9kbay.com.
As a local wholesale bakery, Flax for Life is a proud sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. We produce allergy-friendly baked goods that are nutritious and delicious. We offer a variety of yummy treats that include muffins, brownies, cakes, granolas, and our new line of cookies. With flaxseed being the main ingredient in all of our products, you get a tasty treat made from clean ingredients that are loaded with fiber, omega-3s, and healthy protein. You can find us at your favorite local retailers or online at flaxforlife.net. Go Bells!
Farland is on the mound, a 6'5", 230-pound right-hander, and a sophomore at Washington State University out in Pullman, Washington. And he relieves Bradley McVeigh of his duties through 5 innings. And McVeigh had a very strong outing, posting 6 strikeouts and not giving up any runs to the Bellingham Bells, who are up to bat now in the bottom of the 6th. Yugo Hamakawa leading things off. He had a base hit back in the 1st and then struck out in the 3rd. First pitch from Elias Farland. Not on the scoreboard. My eyes were averted, so strike 1 delivered. I believe it is 0-1. First pitch must have been a final warm-up or practice pitch, as no balls, 1 strike to Hamakawa is on the scoreboard, and the 0-1. Grounded towards first base and hops foul on the second hop. So 0-2 to Yugo. Little more about Bradley McVeigh's outing. 5 innings, only 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and again 6 strikeouts. Farland, the right-hander, delivers the 0-2. Swing and a miss from Hamakawa. Strike 3, and Farland's first strikeout in his first batter faced. Daniel Jernin, next bell up. Right-hander at the plate. Takes the first pitch, just missing downstairs. Ball 1. Jernin, couple of flyouts tonight. To left field in the 1st and center field in the 4th. And the 1-0. This time a fastball a little bit higher and catches the zone for strike 1. One in there for strike 2. Jernin takes a couple of strides backwards and takes a big practice hack, loosening up, and now double taps home plate. Team leader in home runs with 3 already. And the 1-2 from Farland. Slider missing down and away from the right-handed Jernin. Now the 2-2. And deflected foul, a little bit awkwardly from Jernin as he held his bat back in his stance, but brought it forward just a little bit and tapped it right towards the Bells dugout, off to our right. Two balls, 2 strikes to Daniel Jernin. Swing and a miss. That's Farland's 2nd K in as many at-bats. Working well here in the bottom of the 6th. Farland on the season, by the way, in this early summer season, has pitched only 3 2/3. Posted a 2.45 ERA. Started 1 game, appeared twice, obviously. 3 strikeouts, and now a total of 5 on the year. Delivers a fastball, missing downstairs to Cole Miller. 0 for 2 on the night also. Shrugs his shoulders and reapproaches. Miller striking out in the 1st. And flying out to first baseman Ivan Luna. Back in the 4th. And takes the 1-0. I believe inside for strike 1. So I thought I saw the home plate umpire call a strike, but 2 balls, no strikes on the scoreboard out in left center. And a swing and a miss from Miller. Now 2-1 the count. Farland's outings came on June 8th and June 5th. The first one home in Portland against Wenatchee. And Farland came on in the 9th inning to close things out. And now a flare to right center. Running over is Tristan Gomez, making the catch for out number 3 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Portland defensively. A couple of strikeouts for Elias Farland in his first outing of the game. And he makes quick work of things against the Bells in the bottom of the 6th. Nobody got on, and we are on our way to the top of the 7th. Leading things off for Portland is Ryan Ball, who drove in the only run of this ball game so far, and he is up against Zach Simon. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Carter Parcher. He is the new pitcher for the Bells after a pitching change. We'll tell you a little bit more about Carter when we come back after this break on your home for Bells baseball, 98.9 KBay and 98.9KBay.com.
So, you work with a lender to get a mortgage. You get into your new home and you receive notice that your mortgage company has broken up with you and you'll be sending your payments somewhere else. You deserve a partner who will be there with you every step of the way. At WeQ, we service 100% of our loans. Plus, we're not for profit, so you can rest assured knowing that we'll always have your best interest at heart. For a limited time, get your mortgage through WeQ and receive $500 off closing costs. WeQ is an equal opportunity lender.
Great futures start here. Serving 360 kids per day. Supporting academic success. 102,200 meals and snacks served in 2020. Supporting healthy lifestyles. Help us launch great futures by making a gift today at whatcomclubs.org.
Issues while we were away, but better than if I was calling a walk-off home run, right? So on the mound for the Bells now is Carter Parcher, and I mentioned it before we left. First batter faced, flew out to deep center field, and a little bit of a scare for Parcher and the Bells, but Corona back there made the grab, and the count at the time was 1-2. So only thing we missed was a fly out to center field. Second batter Parcher's facing is Carter Booth, his fourth at bat already in the top of the 7th, and struck out looking in the first, was walked back in the 3rd and advanced all the way to third base, but was left stranded, and now faces an 0-2, flares one foul way down the right side. Beautiful night here in Bellingham, the Seaholm Arboretum, a large hill in the backdrop here in Bellingham, full of evergreen trees, painted by the sunset off to our right. And the 0-2, down and away from Carter Booth, ball 1. 1-2 the count from Parcher, who has one appearance already in the season, and that came back against Wenatchee on June 11th. delivers ball 2, 2-2 the count. And Parcher went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits. He had to quickly relieve Oliver Loffman in that ball game as Wenatchee came out roaring. Loffman not even going 1/3 of an inning back in Wenatchee. That ball game, an offensive explosion for both sides. Wenatchee winning that one 13-8 in the first of 3 games for the Bells in Wenatchee. Anyway, Parcher coming in, going 4 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 run. Did the best out of any pitcher in that game and struck out 3. So he is back on the mound here in his second Bells appearance and has the count loaded at 3-2 to Booth. Pops one foul, out of play. And the right-handed batting Booth taking a couple of practice swings. Now resets, and Parcher, with his blonde hair flowing out of the back of his hat, delivers the 3-2 just down and away from the right-handed batting Booth, who takes first now. With 1 gone here in the top of the 7th. The score is 1-0. Portland Pickles in the lead. But a tight contest here in Bellingham for game 1 between these two clubs. Evan Leibel, the catcher at the dish now, batting right-handed. First pitch from Parcher down in the infield of the synthetic turf for ball 1. Zach Simon, by the way, goes 3 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 run, and walked 1 and struck out 3. So, decent outing from the right-hander, who hails from Las Vegas, Nevada. And while he was on the mound for 3 innings, we talked about how excited he was for the Vegas Knights, who lost in overtime tonight in Montreal. And I could not be happier, but Zach Simon, I'm sure, disappointed once he sees that after the ballgame. Adam Gieslin, approaching home plate, has a couple of questions and asking for an explanation from the home plate umpire while I filled you in about the NHL Conference Final. Didn't miss anything. Gieslin back in the dugout now. And 1 ball, no strikes. In the dirt, Sam Perry taking a look up, trying to read the steal, but no attempt from Carter Booth. Two balls, no strikes to Evan Leibel. And a fastball from Parcher at 87, just missing downstairs. Good pitch. Right down the middle, but Parcher just off. A glance to first, now the 3-0. Cracked right towards Parcher's feet. Hamakawa dives behind second base and can't make the grab on the grounder that gets into shallow center. A base hit for Evan Leibel. And now a couple of runners on for the Pickles here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting, number 6, Jacob Jablonski.
Only 1 gone. Bells have been here before, though. In the top of the 3rd, there were a couple of runners on with 1 out. And Brody Jesse able to get out of that one, as runners were at 2nd and 3rd. Parcher, a glance to 2nd. And again, kicks and fires. Inside, misses with the fastball, 85. Well, we've already seen 2 of them tonight. Couple of double plays made in the infield. One for both side here, Portland and Bellingham. And now another opportunity. Hamakawa grounds it, goes to 2nd. In time there. And to 1st. No, neither are in time. And now looks like Riley Parker pleading his case to the infield umpire at 2nd. And it looks like they got him with plenty of time against Evan Leibel at 2nd. But infield umpire ruling both safe, and that will bring up a bases loaded situation. 2 outs are up on the scoreboard, but by my count, there is only 1. Carter Booth at third, Evan Leibel at second, and that was Jacob Jablonski, who knocked one towards Hamakawa and safe at first. Up now, Leo Mosby, number 16 in the navy blue Pickles uniform. White numbers on the back, takes 0-1. Foul tip off the glove of Sam Perry. No balls, 2 strikes. A couple of calls not going in the Bells' favor tonight. And that started back in the first when Jablonski was at the plate. Down in the count 1-2, and Brody Jesse delivered a fastball that looked to be well in the zone. And nothing happened as Mosby grounded out in the next at bat. But now he lines one into shallow center. That's going to bring home Carter Booth from third, and getting the wave home is Evan Leibel. So a couple of runs scored here for Portland off an RBI double from Leo Mosby.
Now batting, number 15, Ivan Luna.
A 2 RBI single. That is from Mosby into left field. And now the score 3-0 in favor of the Pickles. Carter Parcher already getting a mound visit here from Jim Clem. And Booth and Leibel both brought home. Jim Clem visiting the mound where Carter Parcher stands. Clem just trying to calm him down. Taps his pitcher on the left shoulder, as does Davis, who makes his way back to third. Tough outing so far, but the Bells earlier looked as if they executed a double play, and not the case with the infield umpire, who obviously has a better vantage point than we do, as he is parked right in front of second base now. And now making a visit to the home plate umpire. The two of them will chat. And Hamakawa chatting with the second base runner, Jacob Jablonski. Who's from Cal State Chico. And Riley Parker joins the conversation. And some words from Pickles coach Mark Magdaleno towards the home plate umpire. So everybody getting situated out in the infield. It's just dropped from the radio again. What's going on here? What's happening? No, I don't want to schedule. Field, and now a pop to deep right field. Daniel Jernan getting underneath it, and now throwing it over to Davis. So an out recorded against Ivan Luna. Runners stay at second and first. And Parcher now with 2 outs. Parcher and the Bells will take the mound. And runners at first and second. That's Jacob Jablonski and Leo Mosby at first. Amon Lance at the dish with 2 runners on, 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning. And a swing and a miss from Lance. Good fastball. 86 from Parcher. Steps on the rubber with his right foot. And now the 0-1 to Lance. Foul tip, 0-2. Couple of runs scored earlier in the inning before we lost connection briefly. Leo Mosby getting a 2 RBI single, bringing home Carter Booth and Evan Leibel from second and third. Bases were loaded. And now the 0-2, just missing outside the right edge. Ball 1. Three runs to 0 is our score, and the 1-2. Just missing high and inside for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Runners at first and second for Portland. And the 2-2 to Lance. Grounded towards Davis at third. He's going to go for the force out at the bag against Jacob Jablonski and gets there in plenty of time for out number 3. So some trouble for the Bells and 2 runs put up on the board for Portland, but this game is nowhere near out of reach. Stretch time here at Joe Martin. We will take a short break and come back with the bottom of the 7th on your home for Bells baseball, 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9KBay.com. Bottom of the 7th here, and Elias Farland back on the mound for the Portland Pickles. And delivers strike 1 to Grayson Sterling, who is leading off the bottom of an inning for the 2nd time tonight. And the 0-1. Up and in, cross Grayson's chest for ball 1. He has to back off that one a little bit. Brushed him off the plate, and 1-1 the count. Farland coming in the bottom of the 6th and going 1-2-3, retiring the side. The 1-1 high and away from the left-handed Sterling. Ball 2. Sterling was walked back in the 2nd and grounded out in the 4th. The 2-1 falls upstairs and inside for strike 2. Sterling, by the way, this spring batted .282 with Gonzaga. and had a .415 slugging percentage. And the 2-2 to Sterling. Swing and a miss. That was a quick swing and would have looked really good had he gotten a hold of it. But he strikes out, and one gone here in the bottom of the 7th. Dylan Joyce up to the plate, 0 for 2 on the night, grounded into a double play back in the 2nd, and struck out in the 5th. Now stands in for the first pitch from Elias Farland. The righty kicks and deals. Joyce tries to check his swing. Did he go? Yes. A glance at the first base side umpire, who is the infield umpire. Just happens to be stationed down the right base side. And the 0-1 to Joyce. Popped foul. Scorched off to the left, or off to the right, rather. Joyce grimacing after that one. Now shrugs his shoulders and resets in the right-handed batter's box. The 0-2 to Dylan Joyce. Down in the way, sliding to his right is Evan Leibel to get in front of it. And the catcher for Portland delivers it back to Elias Farland on the mound, who started things off in the bottom of the 6th, coming on for Bradley McVeigh, who had a really good outing. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Joyce. And a slider just missing the right corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Joyce 6'4", 240. Got a lot of power. And the 2-2. Catches the right edge this time for strike 3. Couple of Ks already in the bottom of the 7th. And 4 in total for Elias Farland in 5 at-bats. And he is working really well since coming on for Portland. And Bradley McVeigh, by the way, 6 Ks to his credit in the first 5 innings. Farland offers and rocketed down the left field side. It lands, and it's making its way all the way back to the wall. Kicks off the base of the wall. Parker, by the way, is rounding first and sliding into second. And a 2-out double here in the bottom of the 7th is applauded by everybody here on attendance at Joe Martin. Parker, a consistent batter, had a 2-game hit streak going on the road. And had a 2 RBI base hit back in Port Angeles. And the Bells got their 9-1 victory against the lefties. That one came back in the 9th inning. First pitch to A.J. Davis, grounded down the left field baseline and just hobbling past the third base coach, Adam Giesland. The head coach, Adam Giesland, who's parked in that location. And 0-1 the count to Davis. Davis now sets in the right-handed batter's box. Had a base hit in his last at-bat in the 5th. And has Riley Parker at second. The 0-1. Cracked softly to Ivan Luna, who flips it to his pitcher, Elias Farland, who ran over and aided his first baseman for out number 3. So Davis grounds out and strands Riley Parker at second. Parker notching a double and sparking some offense there in the bottom of the 7th, but no runs able to score. Bells down by 3, and we go to the top of the 8th. Take a quick break, come back on your Bells Baseball Radio Network, 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9KBay.com.
When people come before profit, convenience comes without compromise.
That's why BECU has built a top-rated app.
So we can track our spending.
Deposit checks.
Manage debit and credit cards.
And send money. Just like that. Credit unions are powered by members and the values we share.
And BECU puts that power right in our hands.
So
So join us.
BECU, more than just money.
Fresh out of school or looking to change careers? Taylor Driving School offers an affordable road to a high-paying career in truck driving. Weekday and weekend classes are available. And after as little as 4 weeks of instruction, you'll be ready to hit the road. Drivers are in high demand, and with reputable instruction from Taylor Driving School, you'll likely graduate with a job that will have you driving immediately. Financial aid options are available. Find out more online or by calling Taylor Driving School and get started on your new career today.
Change for the Bellingham Bells. It appears to be Greg Blackman on the mound, number 39, and he's warming up with catcher Ezra Samperi. Yes, it is. And Greg Blackman, the third Bellingham Bell on the roster. That happens to be from Lewis Clark State College. And the others, A.J. Davis, who is at third base tonight, and Eric Chavaria, a dominant pitcher for the Bells. We've seen him a couple times so far this season. So Greg Blackman on the mound. We'll get you some more of his stats. We've seen him before, and he is a solid pitcher for the Bellingham Bells. Right-hander, by the way. And we'll face Tristan Gomez to lead things off in the top of the 8th. Delivers the first pitch, fastball, missing outside. Blackman, only 2 appearances so far, no starts. 1 save to his credit, 4 1/3 innings pitched so far, 1-0 to Tristan Gomez, missing outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. Gomez walked in his last at bat on a 4-0 count, and the 2-0 inside for strike 1. Blackman's first appearance came on June 8th here at Joe Martin against the Yakima Valley in a 3-1 victory. They like to save Greg Blackman to come on in the late stages of ball games. He is a closer and delivers strike 2. Climbs his way back in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blackman nods, kicks, steals. And the 2-2 foul tip by Tristan Gomez, who frowns skyward after that missed opportunity there. Tristan Gomez, by the way, sophomore at Cal State Fullerton, stands at 6'4", 185 pounds, and bats left. 2 left-handers in the bottom third of the Pickles lineup. The 2-2 swing and a miss from Tristan Gomez. Blackman gets his first strikeout in his first batter face of the night.
Now batting, number 12, Gabe Scoro.
7 strikeouts on the night for Bells pitching. Impressive numbers on both sides tonight. Next man up for the Pickles, Gabe Scoro, and strike 1 called as he watches the off-speed sail in at 77. And a check swing at the 0-1. Did he go? Yes. No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2. Popped into shallow right center field. Daniel Jernin. He got a good jump on it and gets under it for out number 2. Two up, 2 down here, top of the 8th, and Portland with a 3-run lead against Bellingham. Bells on their 4th pitcher of the night. Greg Blackman on the mound. And delivers an off speed at 81, just missing outside to Ryan Ball, the left-hander from Cal State Northridge in the North LA area. The 1-0 to Ball. Missing outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. Greg Blackman, by the way, stands at 5'10", is a righty, and the 2-0. In there for strike 1, fastball at 87. Good two-seamer. And Blackman just wrapped up his sophomore season, appeared in 14 games, I'm sorry. Can't read what's on my laptop. 2-1. Fastball again, inside. So the second time Greg Blackman's fallen behind in the count, 2-0. Comes back and now has a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And by the way, this spring in 14 appearances posted a .286 ERA and earned 2 saves. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the 2-2 just misses outside. And off speed tags the mitt of Ezra Samperi. And 3-2 is the count. Payoff pitch. Swung on, popped straight up and drifting back. Foul ball and out of play. Greg Blackman's father, also named Greg, played baseball at Lewis Clark State College and was a member of the '92 NAIA World Series championship team. As his son, Greg Blackman, delivers a strike 3 to Ryan Ball, who is caught looking and makes his way towards the Portland dugout. And the Bells hang a 0, or the Pickles rather, hang a 0 in the top of the 8th. Bells down by 3 runs, and we are going to the bottom of the 8th. Bells with an opportunity with leading things off, bottom of the order, Ezra Samperi. When we come back on your home for Bells baseball, 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9KBay.com.
The Slow Pitch Sports Grill and Casino has live casino card games in a poker room that features Texas Hold'em and Omaha games. Located in Bellingham, Washington.
Great futures start here. Serving 360 kids per day. Supporting academic success. 102,200 meals and snacks served in 2020. Supporting healthy lifestyles. Help us launch great futures by making a gift today at whatcomclubs.org.
Perry, the Bells catcher, leading things off in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bells down 3 runs to 0. Ball 1 sailing down in the way. And now the 1-0. Popped down the third base side, and it takes a couple hops foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Samperi, who flew out in the 3rd inning to right field and was walked on a full count in the 5th and was stranded at first base, while Davis was over at second. The 1-1. Fastball paints the outside edge for strike 2. One-two to Ezra Samperi. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch from Elias Farland. Fastball at 89 and gets his 5th strikeout in just 2 1/3 innings. Top of the order now for the Bells, who are hungry for some offense, as are all the fans here in attendance on this Friday night at Joe Martin. Corona 0 for 3. Foul tips the first pitch off to the right. A couple of groundouts for Emilio tonight in the third and the fifth, and struck out swinging back in the first. The 0-1. Line to left field. It's going to drop, take a couple of hops before getting to Gabe Scoro in left. And Corona is aboard with his first hit of the night. 1 out gone in the bottom of the 8th. Yugo Hamakawa up now. And Yugo leading the team in hits with 11. Nobody else in double digits on the Bells. And with one runner on first, that's Corona. He's going to go at any given moment. And Corona takes the first pitch. Fastball 87 at the belt buckle. Yugo having to kick back and out of the way of that one. Couple of strikeouts for Yugo earlier in the third and the sixth. But notched a base hit back in the first. Left-handed batter stands in. Knees in front of the toes. Narrow stance. The 1-1. Or the 1-0 rather. Now turned into a 1-1 with a foul ball. Grounded down the right base side. Yugo scored on a balk last night. Got aboard on a walk and was advanced across the base paths. A couple of pass balls out in Port Angeles. Bells dropping last night's game 9-3. Check to first. Corona back in time. Fans sticking around here. Bells just down by 3 at Joe Martin Field. Later stages of this ball game. Bottom of the 8th. 1-1. Bunt shows from Hamakawa. Laid down nicely in front of the pitcher's mound. Corona over at second and at first. Hamakawa thrown out as the throw from pitcher Elias Farland moves Ivan Luna off the bag. He has to fully extend, make the catch, and keep his left foot on the... Oh, you know what? He came off. He had to fully extend to make the catch from pitcher Elias Farland, and the call at first is safe. Yugo now with his hands up in the air, and I don't know what's going on here. Hamakawa talking with the home plate umpire. Head coach of the Pickles, Mark Magdaleno, comes out at the 45-foot spot and now walks back. Okay, so I was right. I was right, and Adam Giesland wants an explanation at the 45-foot mark of the third baseline. So I saw Hamakawa standing at first after I initially called him out. Turns out he was out. The throw off the bunt from Elias Farland, the pitcher, over to first, a little bit off the mark. Luna having to fully extend off, well, what Yugo thought was off the bag, to make the grab from his pitcher, keeping his left foot on the bag, supposedly, according to the infield umpire, for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 8th. So sorry for the confusion, but you could see how a play like that could be contestable. So Hamakawa grounds out to the pitcher off a sac bunt attempt. Well, actually, Ryan, that would be a successful sac bunt. So Yugo Hamakawa doing his job, advancing to Emilio Corona to second. And that play's got me all mixed up here in the broadcast booth. 1 ball, no strikes to Daniel Jernan, who's waiting at the plate. Foul tips the 1-0 for strike 1. One ball, one strike, bottom of the 8th inning, and 2 outs for the Bells, down by 3 runs. Emilio Corona at second. He's got speed, and he's dancing over there with the leadoff. And now a grounder from Jernin. A great catch from Jacob Jablonski. Diving to his right, getting in front of that ground ball. It was a seamer. He makes the play across the diamond to first, but Daniel Jernin's speed beats out the throw, and he is safe at first. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Runners at the corners now for the Bells. And Jernin aboard for the first time tonight. Cole Miller also 0 for 3 tonight, although Daniel Jernin isn't anymore. Miller at the plate, 2 outs, runners at the corners. Bells with an opportunity to tie the game. Tying run at the plate. Jernin with the lead off of first. Glance over there from Farland. He sets. Miller watches the first pitch. Fastball drift down and away. 4-1. That was a terrific effort from Jacob Jablonski at shortstop to get in front of that baseball, get his left arm on it. Off a rip from Daniel Jernin. But the speed of Jernin safe at first base. Corona at third. Cole Miller at the plate. The count 1-0. And strike one called as the changeup falls on the right edge of the plate. Cole Miller flew out to right field in his last at bat in the 6th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grounded foul down the left base side. Hops over the back of head coach Adam Gieslin at third base coach. And 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count to Cole Miller. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Miller, the tying run at the plate. And runners on the corners, the 1-2. Grounded to shortstop. Jacob Jablonski comes in. He's got to go to first, and does. In time. Cole Miller frustrated at that call, but the good play from Jablonski to get out number 3. And Portland out of the threatening jam from the Bells in the bottom of the 8th. To the top of the inning we go. You're listening to Bells Baseball on 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9KBay.com.
Acme Valley ice cream is distinguished by its robust flavor, taffy-like texture, and smooth mouthfeel finish that satisfies with every spoonful. Indulgent and delicious. This is full-strength ice cream, the way it was meant to be, handcrafted here in the Pacific Northwest. Share it with a friend or keep it all to yourself. Once you taste Acme Valley ice cream, you will never settle for less. We truly are, pound for pound, the best around.
When people come before profit, convenience comes without compromise.
That's why BECU is built a top-rated app.
So we can track our spending.
Deposit checks.
Manage debit and credit cards.
And send money. Just like that. Credit unions are powered by members and the values we share.
And BECU puts that power right in our hands.
So join us.
BECU, more than just
Ninth inning, and Greg Blackman back on the mound. A great play from Riley Parker at shortstop. Over to first base now to Dylan Joyce for out number 2 as quickly as that in the top of the 9th inning. While we were away, Carter Booth led things off for Portland and flew out to deep center field. Evan Leibel just a moment ago on the first pitch grounded out to shortstop Parker, who on a rope to first base got it to Dylan Joyce for out number 2. Greg Blackman now delivers the 1-0 in there for strike 1. To Jacob Jablonski. Portland ahead of Bellingham. 3 runs to 0. Top of the 9th inning. Greg Blackman working very quickly and very well. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jablonski now. Left-handed batter stands in, takes a hack at the 2-1, and it's foul. Down the left field side, falls into the fans sitting on the left field grass adjacent to left field. And it is prime foul ball territory over there. The count now 2-2. 2 outs, top of the 9th. And the 2-2. Swung on, foul tip, gets between the legs of Sam Perry, so Jablonski and Blackman will do it again. Jablonski tonight walked twice in the first and the third, and had a base hit in the 7th, struck out looking in the 5th. 2 balls, 2 strikes, top of the 9th. Blackman kicks, deals, and the 2-2 just missing downstairs. Ball 3, a 3-2 count. And the payoff pitch for Greg Blackman. Swing and a miss. Greg Blackman does his job and strikes out the side here. Well, retires the side, more like it, in the top of the 9th inning as the Bells defensively go 1, 2, 3. Fly out to center. Ground out from Evan Leibel. And Blackman tops it off with a strikeout against Jacob Jablonski. The Bells down by 3 runs and a new pitcher on the mound for the Pickles. When we come back, we'll tell you who it is, and Bells will try to mount a comeback here at Joe Martin. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Bells Baseball on 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9KBay.com. And it is Derek Drees. Wears number 29 and is circumnavigating the pitcher's mound after his warm-up throws to catcher Evan Leibel. And Drees stands at 6'5", 215 pounds. Is a right-handed senior at Butler University, private university in Indianapolis, Indiana. And leading off, as it seems he does every inning at this ball game in particular, the Bell's newcomer, Grayson Sterling, leading off a third inning tonight. Batting at in the fifth spot as the DH, and he watches the first pitch. Fastball at 90, missed down and away. Sterling walked in the second, grounded out in the fourth, and struck out in the seventh. 1 for 3 on the night. And swings and misses at the 0-1. I guess that first pitch caught the zone. I'm sorry, a delayed call from the umpire. No balls, 2 strikes to Grayson Sterling. And another fastball missing just downstairs, this time for ball 1. The 1-2. Inside for ball 2, and Evan Leibel was ready to toss the baseball to his infield as he thought Grayson Sterling went down looking. Derek Drees from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, and the 2-2. Fastball misses again at 90, just outside, and Grayson Sterling sticking around after going down in the count 0-2. Count now loaded at 3-2. Payoff pitch, popped foul. Sterling staying alive. This spring, Derek Drees posted a 6.48 ERA. Full count to Grayson Sterling. Misses outside, tipped off the glove of Evan Leibel, and Sterling trotting down to first, his second walk of the afternoon. So Sterling aboard again, and nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth. Dylan Joyce, no, that looks like Kyle Green, pinch hitting for Dylan Joyce. Right-handed catcher for the Bells, making his first appearance of the night. When the Bells need some offense. Late stages of this ball game. The Pickles ahead 3-0. Bells with a man on first. That's Grayson Sterling. First pitch to Green is way high. And Green watches that one sail in for ball 1. Pitching coach on his way to the mound for Portland. That, of course, Brian Grant, the 1993 Blue Jays draftee. And Brian Grant spent 3 years in the minor league systems with the Jays until a shoulder injury eventually cut his time a little bit short. But some valuable knowledge and experience that Brian Grant brings to the Pickles organization. Pickles, by the way, entering the West Coast League in 2018. A very brief mound visit to Derek Drees. Kyle Green pinch hitting for Dylan Joyce. At the plate, 1 ball, no strikes. And the 1-0 way inside skims the left elbow of Kyle Green. Adam Gieslin making his way towards home plate and wants to exchange pleasantries with the home plate umpire. And Adam Giesland, backed by the entire contingent of Bells fans seated in the grandstands. I'm not really sure what he saw. I'm thinking Adam Giesland saw a balk in Derek Drees' delivery and wants an explanation. Chats with both umpires. Giesland frustrated. Oh, you know what? Giesland successful. He pleads his case and is rewarded. As I believe they saw at least Giesland saw a balk. Giesland clapped his hands loudly as he walked away from his meeting with the home plate umpire. And as that was happening, Kyle Green made his way to first base and Grayson Sterling to second. And now the head coach of the Portland Pickles, furious at the infield umpire. That's Mark Magdaleno, and he is fuming on his way back to the Portland dugout. So, in my best guess for everybody listening, Kyle Green at the plate, facing 1-0 count, and Giesland caught a balk from the pitcher for Portland, Derek Drees, and pleaded his case at home plate. Green awarded a base, as is first base runner Grayson Sterling. Those two sit at first and second. No outs, bottom of the ninth. And Riley Parker at the plate. He's got a single and a double tonight, and he represents the tying run of this ball game. And a 1-0 count to Parker. Swing and a miss. He wanted all of that one. Now Giesland telling Parker a base hit will be enough here. Nobody out. Bottom of the ninth inning, Bells down by 3. The 1-1. And an off speed, catching the upper left portion of the strike zone for strike 2. The 1-2 to Parker. And caught the right edge of the strike zone. Parker knew it as he flailed his arms down to his sides and made his way towards the Bells dugout. Still on his way. So Parker strikes out looking for the first out of the bottom of the ninth. Runners stay at first and second. Kyle Green at first. And Grayson Sterling straight away at second. First pitch to Davis. Off speed, again, in that upper left portion of the zone. Off speed from Derek Drees, and strike 1. A.J. Davis now representing the tying run. At the plate, the 0-1. Swung on to shallow center. That's going to drop. Davis on his way to first. Riley Parker. I'm sorry, he just struck out. At third is Grayson Sterling. He puts on the brakes. Second, Dylan Joyce. And over at first now, A.J. Davis, after loading the bases with a base knock here late in the ninth. No, that's Kyle Green at second. So one more time, Grayson Sterling at third. Kyle Green at second. Over at first is A.J. Davis. And now the go-ahead run and winning run is at the plate. Ezra Samperi, bottom of the ninth inning. And bottom of the lineup for the Bells. First pitch is a fastball, just missing upstairs. Ball 1. Bases loaded for the Bells. Bottom of the ninth inning, Bellingham down by 3. The 1-0. And an off speed falls in to the zone for No. 2 balls, no strikes is on the scoreboard. And I'm having a hard time reading the home plate umpire tonight. The 2-0. Swing and a miss from Samperi. Fouled back into Evan Leibel. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Samperi. Bases loaded for the Bells. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. And ball 3 called as Samperi watches the off speed. Miss up and away. Samperi tonight walked in the 5th. Flew out to right in the 3rd and struck out in the 7th. And he represents the winning run for the Bells here, bottom of the 9th. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Samperi strikes out. Good stuff from Derek Drees. Got Samperi fishing as the slider curve falls down and away. Samperi, the right-handed batter, fishes for it. So how about the top of the lineup for the Bells? Emilio Corona, bottom of the 9th inning. 2 outs gone. Bells down by 3 runs. Bases loaded. Grayson Sterling at 3rd. Kyle Green at 2nd. Over at 1st, A.J. Davis. First pitch. Corona takes strike 1. 80-mile-an-hour changeup. And everybody with their eyes on the infield. As bases loaded, Corona takes ball 1, missing high and away. Corona, just last inning, had a base hit, his first of the night, and represents the winning run. The 1-1. Popped foul directly towards Yugo Hamakawa in the on-deck circle. Good thing Yugo was watching as he backs off, and now he's got a smile on his face. And that could have been real dangerous. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded for the Bells, bottom of the 9th. And the 1-2 missing away from Corona. No swing, 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Bases loaded for Emilio Corona. 2-2. Swing and a miss. This ball game is over. Derek Drees faces a bases loaded situation on the mound in the bottom of the 9th. And Corona at the plate with bases loaded strikes out on a 2-2 count. Bell's best opportunity all night to score some runs here in the bottom of the 9th. Celebrating in the infield are the Portland Pickles. And we will step aside briefly and come back, break down all the numbers for you, and tell you how this ball game unfolded. Portland victorious in the first of 3 games this weekend series. And the Bells will have a couple of opportunities to get back tomorrow and on Sunday against their West Coast League rival from the South Division, the Portland Pickles. We'll come back and break down the numbers again on the postgame when we come back on your home for Bells baseball on 98.9 K-Bay and 98.9kbay.com. And the Portland Pickles defeating the Bellingham Bells by the score of 3-0. Tough night for the Bells as they had a bases loaded opportunity in the bottom of the 9th inning and a close opportunity. A couple calls didn't go their way aside from one that was contested by Adam Giesland at home plate, and he pleaded his case and was successful in what we believe is a balk, and we did request Adam Giesland to come up to the booth to visit us post-game. So we'll see who comes up. Looks like it's David Higuera, Bell's assistant coach, joining us in the booth. He is just getting here and will join us in one moment. But post-game totals for you. Pickles with 3 runs, Bells with 0. Both teams had 7 hits. Both left 9 on base. And from my personal account, no errors. So a pretty clean baseball game, but a tough outing for the Bells as they drop this one 3-0 to Portland here in their return from a long road stand. And joining me now post-game, Bells assistant coach David Higuera. Coach, that was an exciting game, especially at the end, but a tough one for the Bells.
Absolutely. Well, it was good to see some fight there at the end, and that was something hopefully we're going to improve on tomorrow, and it's going to give us some momentum with our offensive approach.
What did you think about Brody Jesse, his first outing as a Bell?
Stunning. Loved his presence, everything that he came with. It was just really good to see.
Lighting it up on the start, and just nothing but fastballs from him. Really good to see, like you said. And how about Grayson Sterling as the DH tonight? A couple of walks, nothing too offensive, but what did you like about his approach to the plate?
His presence. He brought a good presence to the plate. When we needed a really good at-bat there at the end, he came through for us.
Something that I'm sure most of our listeners tonight and myself are wondering in great detail is what happened in the 9th when